There it is. Is it already time to BC some RBs? For real. Alright, welcome back, world. Um, Good to see Aznadel and Zeno Dubstep. We're doing good. Hope you're doing good as well. Um, Friends of the stream, friends of us. Yeah, we are back. It is FastTrack Feedback Fridays, as you know. A little bit of a mouthful there. Um, for those who don't know, we are giving feedback on your music as detailed and constructively as possible. We've got this little format. Oh, this is so difficult down there. For the trying to point to the ratings thing, but it's backwards. Yeah. Um, Anyways, y'all know that some of you have already submitted music. We've got quite a queue today. The way this works, yeah, so just a refresh for the way this works. We have a free queue, so everybody who submits music gets reviewed for free if you want to. The problem is that a lot of people want feedback, and we try to be detailed and useful in the way that we give feedback. So we don't always get to every single submission in the stream. We typically get through 5 or 6 in the time that we have. We go until 7:30 Central, and right now we'll go through the stream and count them, but it's more than 5 to 6. So if you submitted today, which I see a couple of you guys did, and you want to be reviewed today, and if you also want to be reviewed now, like first, we have a tip link that you can send that moolah to. Um, it is a minimum. We both got it, yeah. Mine says I beat you, so I don't know. Same time, same time. Um, but we'll skip you to the front of the line if you donate minimum $5 just to keep it fair. Um, Otherwise, we will get to you eventually, but it won't be this week if you just submitted. So, Chris, do you want to read the queue off? Hold on, Chris. Apparently, you don't have audio, which is weird because your audio was in the mixer a second ago. Um, that's strange. Let me try deleting you and adding you back in. Weird. All right, you're deleted, and I'll add you back in. Let's see. Is your microphone selected? There's Chris. Okay, Chris, try talking. Yeah, okay, I see your audio now. Not yet. I have to resize your square. Everyone else is like, "Who are you talking to?" All right, and update stream. All right, try talking now.
Did they do it? Hello, hello.
Check,
Am I
check, check.
working?
I think they got it.
Okay, I hope so. All right, I'll just start the queue over again because it's long, guys. Menthol Slim, God's Warrior, Balenci Baby twice, music by Divs, Jokerhead, KVS, Seba, Balenci Baby again. So yeah, we're probably gonna only do one song Balenci unless you pay us. Korhi, Zaug, Aznadel, shouts out Aznadel in the chat, Zeno Dubstep, and then Meadle. So that's 13 guys. Like that is a lot. It's like
It's a lot of
what, two
music.
weeks worth. Yeah. So if you guys want to get your music now, we know that it's important to get feedback now and early in the process. If you don't need it right away, um, feel free to just chill on the free queue. But if you need it right now, just go ahead and drop us a tip, and we'll get to you as soon as possible. Um, but yeah, all right. Looks like it works. Appreciate you guys. So if anybody is looking to skip the queue now into the paid queue is open completely. If not, we'll go into our first one with excuse me, which is Menthol Slim. Um, let's see. So 5 going once, 4 going twice. I'm doing 2 different countdowns right now.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. All right. You guys are just like hold on to your money a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. But we'll go to Menthol Slim first. Rasputin with
Why
this
did I feel like we
charming.
already got this?
I think we looked at it, but I don't know if we did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember looking at this and I was like, "What the hell? This is gonna be interesting." Look at the lyrics and
Maybe
shit.
not. Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah. Homie looking a little bit like Rasputin in there, so I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
But yeah, it's Rasputin. It's a finished release. Um, this person, what's his name? Menthol Slim. Is a rapper producer. He slapped this together because I didn't make anything for time and wanted to. Oh, for a time, excuse me, and wanted to break out of that block. Okay. All
Dope.
right. So that's Menthol Slim. You ready, Josh?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. Three, two, one. Rasputin. Uh oh. Uh oh.
Finesse, I like them Rasputin.
Uh oh.
Finesse. Rasputin. I'm finessing,
I
fucking
don't know
thug
about
and
this
feel
one.
like Rasputin. I've been doing what she does and bitch, I get it
I
in.
gotta see Josh's
Man,
face
I
right
need
now.
to
I need
make
to see
some
Josh's
money,
face.
mix some
All right.
medicine. Check on your brother and your
It's gotta got
cousin
like
and
a
confess and
Suicide Boys
shit.
to it.
Tell nobody about nobody's, that's a no. No, I just spend this shit, I'm tryna pump a Lolo. Fuck that bitch's phone, she tryna take a photo. Man, what the fuck you thinking? Ain't no one can know. 100 sins upon my
He
soul,
kind of
I
sounds
need
like
a
Yeet.
burning bush. Burning, yeah, I earn this furnace. No, I'm never learning, keep a G. You a pest lickle nigga, you free. I double down screaming up for police. These niggas so nervous, they shaking their feet. Bitch, I'm allergic to nervous and weak. You're feeling so meaningless, shut the fuck up. Feed you the demons for couple of bucks. Fly as a bitch and I shit on these niggas. They say that I'm bitter, I call that shit wisdom. I sleep with a pistol right next to my head. Wake up so pissed cause ain't already dead. Cause cause of my mind and my body and soul. Suicide, not my style, no time to go home. Lord, I'm so bored, I can't take anymore, so I might go and fuck on your bitch. You niggas is bitches, but ain't doing shit. Can't do what I'm doing, I do what it is. Finesse like Rasputin, you knew
Yeah.
as a kid. You moving so stupid, you truly a lid. You foolish, you prove to the rulers I said. Can't sit with the rulers, the coolest you did. I'm finessing,
Ad-lib
fucking
too.
thug and feel like Rasputin. I've been doing what she does and bitch, I get it in. Man, I need to make some money, mix some medicine. Check on your brother and your cousin and confess and shit. Tell nobody about nobody's, that's a no. No, I just spend this shit, I'm tryna pump a Lolo. Broke that bitch's phone, she tryna take a photo. Man, what the fuck you thinking? Ain't no one can know.
Man.
Now I just nutted on your bitch, I bet you take her back. Breaking back was feeling heart attacks. Educated villain sipping on some yak. Candy come a call you back. Cause you throwing coochie, so I gotta add. Dirty dealing, damn on double back. You can deal with demons, never done with that. Panoramic view, I seen it all. If you do not have it, you don't want it all. Had that lesbian Spanish, been lick my balls. She done never had a dick, I hit it raw. Now months later, I ignore a call. Said that ain't my baby, you don't look like me.
That background
Moving like
sample, man, it
Hades with
never ends.
cocaine. Nigga going crazy, feel like medicine. Medicine, I got me medicine. I put the paper, I'm aiming for it again. You a danger if you test a pimp. I'm about to rape a bitch, I get it in. Shameless, think of satanic. I just say the hater sucking like a tick. And like I'm famous, say I never switch. I've been burning bridges, breaking off a bitch. I'm finessing, fucking thug and feel like Rasputin. I've been doing what she does and bitch, I get it in. Man, I need to make some money, mix some medicine. Check on your brother and your cousin and confess and shit. Tell nobody about nobody's, that's a no. No, I just spend this shit, I'm tryna pump a Lolo. Broke that bitch's phone, she tryna take a photo. Man, what the fuck you thinking? Ain't no one can know.
Sample is just everywhere, and
Oh my
it
god.
wasn't good. The sample wasn't good the first time, but
Yeah. That
I gotta
wow.
say that tell nobody about nobody's a no. That part I think is like the best part. I think it does sound really good vocally, but there's a lot of stuff to unpack here, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
woo!
Jeez.
I had to look at Josh's face for that to see what he thought because I
At the
knew that
beginning,
was
I was like, "Why?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's why."
out of his alley. Oh yeah, I freaking
Oh my god.
I was started a little bit ahead. Honestly, vocal tone is sick. As Nadal, why is my body involuntary twerking? Dude,
Good question.
Rasputin kind of had that power for the what was it the Tsarina of Russia? Anyways,
Hmm.
um, the Russian queen. But yeah, what do you got for your first impressions, Josh? First person vibes.
It's interesting because like some of the vocal delivery sounds pretty like sophisticated. I guess you
Yeah.
could say it's like it's not just somebody who woke up one day and started like talking into a mic, right? It's like
Mhm.
he's got some style to it, some professionalism, pretty good rhythm most of the time. I
Mhm.
do feel like there were some parts of the vocal delivery that were a little bit like early, maybe.
Mm.
It's like which does give off a slightly amateurish vibe, I think, when you're
Mhm.
like trying to get the lyric out, but you're not thinking about the musical side of how you're delivering it. You're just kind of like stuck in the words. You're like, oh, I can't wait for people to like hear this one. And so
Mhm.
your delivery is impacted by it. And you like you just aren't in time musically.
Mm.
Um that's like a sort of maybe one area to work on with that. Now that's separate from like the track itself, right? And like the actual content, which
Yeah.
is controversial, let's
Oh,
say.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
Bruh, I gotta
yeah,
say, like, this bar here, where is it? I'm a battle raper? Oh, no,
I
dude,
saw
like,
that one. I was like,
yeah,
dude.
I don't know what this is, bruh. I don't know if you're trying to, like, just tell the story of Rasputin. I don't even know if that's true, if he was a, quote, "battle raper," but I don't know. Am I gonna get TOS for saying that? I'm not even sure, but
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, overall, my impression is like this is like sort of musical extremism.
yeah, as an
You
adult, got
know?
it right, yeah. A little too gnarly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
little uncomfortable.
a little bit. Hey, man, but that's what I guess that's what he's known
Especially
for.
like the visceral like screaming in the background. That's not great.
Mhm. Ah, I mean, it's just not I feel like it's not great. The screaming in the background was not great because the sample itself was, like, goofy. It was like a Wilhelm scream, like, "Ah!" Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
it's just
goofy, but it was also like again the sort of visceral response. Like the
sure,
whole
sure.
time you're trying to listen to lyrics and then you hear somebody like fucking dying. It's not good.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Yeah, if you're gonna go that route, I just think it could be more convincing, but anyways,
Yeah.
as fucked up as that sounds, what else do you have?
I mean, for
Your
vibes,
vibe, yeah.
it's the overall impression is like is a little bit off the rails, like content wise, especially. And like props for the delivery being good. I do think the production needs some work as well. So
Yeah,
it's really like I think there's a the person is potentially a vehicle for like some good shit, right?
yeah,
Vocally and whatnot. And maybe like conceptually, like it is pretty out there. Like you had to think of this and like, there's some creativity here, right?
sure.
But I think like vibes, all those things combined, I would say it's like a 25%, maybe 20% between yellow and green.
Yeah, it's a big caution sign right now,
Big
that's for sure.
caution, yeah, more yellow than anything.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that assessment. Yeah, like, I don't know, man, just, like, straight from the beginning let me hear this again. Yeah, like, that beginning where he's just like, like, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
no."
go back. I want to go back to it.
Yeah, dude, like, it's about, like, 10 seconds in, but, um, dude, like, okay, I
Okay, yeah, they got it.
that's like a content thing. I'll just go overall vibes. I mean, vibes. I'm kind of telling the journey of like my listening. So like I heard that, and I'm like, oh man, and bro, like 99% of people when they hear that, they're gonna skip the song. So like,
Yeah,
careful putting
yeah.
shit like that. Like you could do that in the middle, like do a beat drop, and like if you want to do some weird shit like that, but if it goes on for 10 seconds, it's like okay, I'm gonna change the song.
That was enough
Um,
vocal fry to make a fucking Big Mac, dude.
yeah, yeah, exactly, deep fried. But
Mm.
this whole song a deep fried meme. But anyways, it's like good that I think when the verse actually came in, the beat, I think the whole time the beat was just kind of underwhelming. Um, it just it sounded a little bit stock, kind of amateurish. But I really do think that Menthol Slim, your vocals, your delivery, and your I guess I can't. I wasn't really looking at bars other than shit that really kind of made me squirm. But I was just um, like, you have a dope voice. I think you really do have a dope voice, and, like, you keep the delivery really interesting. Like, there was this one part where you said, "These N-word" I don't wanna say it. "No, so nervous they shaking their feet," right? And then, like, while you said it, you're like, "They shaking their feet." It reminded me of, like, like, Old Dirty Bastard of, Wu-Tang Clan, and, like, it's just interesting to listen to rappers like that, and, um contrary to other things of this song that felt a little bit too goofy, I felt like when you did stuff like that vocally, it sounded really good. Um, there's a couple times where I was like, "Oh, I get like a Suicide Boys vibe of this." Maybe if you put a little bit more reverb on it. At the same time, I got ODB or even Yeet. I was like, this guy sounds like Yeet right now. It's got this cool little southern kind of twang to it. So yeah, I think you do have a lot of potential, at least shown potential here with the vocals here. You just didn't present it in the best way, in my opinion. Like the beginning, you're gonna get everybody just to skip off because like, what the fuck is this shit? But yeah, it was a little gnarly, little definitely rough around the edges. There's some bright spots in there, so I'll put my
And
caution
some
sign at
really dark ones.
really dark ones. Yeah, Battle Raper alone, I could just that was me pulling out a stop sign actually. So
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot of stuff that you might want to look at, and
yeah.
but vibes, I'll do okay. Straight up caution yellow. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
that's fair.
develop. So content, what do you got?
Yeah, content, I think, is the one where I would have to say somewhere in the orange zone.
Yeah,
Somewhere between redo and develop, there's some
yeah.
that's, salvageable, like, potentially,
Battle
it's like
Raper, bro. That's red. That bar is red right there.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like, the landscape that you're creating here might be, like, salvageable, right? Like, it's, like, an interesting, like, space that you've created,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit on the side of extreme, I think, for most listeners. Just, like, a lot
Let
of
us
the
know what you're about, Menthol. Like, what what's your audience? You know?
what's your philosophy on life?
Yeah. Are you like
Um,
going ICP and insane clown posse or something? Like, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, it's one thing to try to have extreme lyrics, like to make a statement, but
Mhm.
it's another thing when you're like just trying to be extreme to be extreme. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like you're
Yeah.
not necessarily trying to say something that's extreme. You're just like you're getting like a personal rush out of like saying shit that you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. No.
Like
Yeah.
hateful
That's true.
shit or whatever it is.
Well, yeah. Like, I mean, I was gonna say like, I can't believe I'm going into this bar even more. But it's like I'm a battle raper, bitch. I get it in. What does that even like mean or anything? You know, like there's this other song, it's a song by Immortal Technique. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Dance to the Devil. Um, and like he uses, very strong themes of like even like rape and stuff. But he makes a really like uh provocative and very, what is it, conscious commentary on like gang culture. Um and he uses like a storytelling like way to do that. Very like good song, from that perspective. But there's still like controversial topics like that. Here, it's literally just a bar that like is just I'm a battle raper. What does that even mean? Like so that goes to Josh's point where he says like you're trying to say this edgy stuff, but it really has like no place for it here. It's just literally a bar. There's like no like deeper thought provoking stuff to like understand what is happening. It's just like, oh, he just said the R word. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess we're doing this now. So yeah, there's a. I'm sorry to go into that bar specifically, but dude, like that's the biggest red flag for me. But anyways, I cut you off.
Yeah, I just think like the way that you tell your stories is important, and I could see a defense of saying like, "Oh, this is supposed to be a story about a character." It's like it's not me saying it. Like,
Hmm.
yes, that's like sort of a defense, but if your audience doesn't like necessarily understand that, or
Yeah.
you haven't painted it in a really clear way what this is about,
Hmm.
then that doesn't work. Like if you just say like in my head this is a story about someone else, well, like the song is public and you're trying to like get people to listen to it. Like you can never basically use an excuse to say, well, I wrote it because of this or it's supposed to be this way, or because I produced it, it sounds like this. I produced it in this way, it sounds like this. None of
Hmm.
that shit, like nothing that you did matters. The only thing that matters is the output. It's only like what people hear. And it's true that like you can make music and put it out there that people don't understand. And that's fine if you want to be avant-garde and artsy and stuff. But if you're trying to make music for people, you need to get your vision across in a way that's understood, essentially.
Hmm.
So it's just yeah, like there's some lyrics in here that I don't know what they're serving, if they are actually serving anything, or if they're just kind of a reckless attempt to be edgy because you can, and thinking that like you know going all out, deep frying everything is going to get attention.
Hmm.
It may to some extent, but it won't be like long lasting attention, or probably. Uh,
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, in content, the other thing that needs some work is that sample in the background that's happening all the time.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
that's brutal. Like makes it hard to listen to the song. You know.
Yeah. I can kind of piggyback off that too. Like, I think for the most part, his delivery was really solid, and maybe there was some stuff that was a little bit ahead of the beat, but to me, nothing sticked out that was off there in the main vocal. However, there was stuff, especially the ad libs, where I felt like they were like a tad behind and like just kind of out of place. Um, like, what is it? Like, I've been doing what you doesn't, bitch. I get it in, and then you would say like, get it in, but it was like off the beat and like ran into the next line, and I was just like, what is this? But then it came in like every time, like the next line, man, I need to make some money, mix some medicine. You're like medicine, mix, 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 and then it was like off the beat, and I was like, dude, this is like hard to listen to, and this is your hook, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and the second part of the hook's really good. Like that's really surprising, man. Like tell nobody about nobodies. That's a no no. That whole part, like yeah, I think your delivery rocked. So there's definitely bright spots here, man. I think you know what you're doing in some places, but some places you might be trying to push things. And hey, man, that's the thing about being experimental. You know, failure is probably going to happen um, a lot of the time before you hit something right. So, anyways, what do you have for a score?
For content,
Yeah,
I would say,
you said
man,
orange
it's
somewhere.
like it's like 20% between redo and develop. Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, a lot of it's like maybe redo, rethink.
Yeah. We kind of went a lot about the lyrical content. Do you have anything on the beat at all?
Not as much on the beat, aside from like sample placement and timing and all that stuff. It's more on production.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen to that too. I listened back to it again. It's just like I don't know. The beat has some hard hitting 808s and stuff, but the lead melody, if you want to even call it that, leaves much to be desired. There's not really a lot going on. Nothing to really hook into my ear or even support what the vocalist is doing. So I don't know. I honestly think that you have a lot of well, I don't know. Yeah, uh, I'll just go with my score for now. We'll go to production, but I just think the beat's kind of meh. It's kind of hard hitting, but there's some production things that are holding it back there. And composition wise, it's honestly just sounds like a drum loop and then some high synths on the top that don't really have any motif or anything or any theme that's catchy. Um, and then for all the lyric stuff we said, I think I agree with Josh. It's like 20% between redo and yellow. There's a lot of stuff to redo. I think. Um, well, that line especially. Maybe without that line, it would be like yellow green. Between yellow and green, and like a 10%. But yeah, that line brings it down a lot. Um, and the ad libs for sure. But anyways, what do you got for production?
Yeah, production. I mean, overall, I just felt like it was a little bit bass heavy, a little bit muddy.
Yeah.
Um, just like the frequency balance just feels a little bit off. It's very bottom heavy. Uh, and like I don't know, I think a lot of the elements don't sound particularly cleanly mixed.
Mm,
Like just eliminating frequency ranges in different instruments that are not needed, especially so they don't clash with other instruments, but also so they just sound more direct and to the point. There's a lot of like sort of wishy-washiness, right? Like different things are just overlapping. There's no like empty space in the mix anywhere, right?
yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Is like if you can get to the point where your mix sounds complete, but you still have space or it has some room to breathe, things aren't stepping on each other's toes, and there's like room for ambient effects like reverbs and delays that don't get totally lost.
Mhm.
That's something to aim for. But definitely here, I sort of feel like I get a sense this was like rushed through a little bit. Uh-oh, screen share disappeared, but I'll get it back up. Um, I get the sense this was maybe rushed through a little bit, just in terms of like really considering your lyrical content, how it fits together as a larger story, and then also in the recording side, right? Like not making sure that you get every take completely right. And also on the production side, like not really paying attention to the details of how your different instruments sound and the actual samples you're using and the placement, right? Like you really have to put in a lot of emphasis on quality control in your tracks and paying attention to the details at every step of the process. Because if you don't, how are you going to compete with all the artists that do put in the time and the attention to detail in all the different areas? It
Mhm.
really shows, right? There's the whole idea of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. You can get 80% of the result in 20% of the time. But if you want to get to 100%, you need to spend, like, you've probably only spent that 20% of the time. You need to spend the other 80% getting to the finish line.
Mhm.
So that's why it's like there's a huge difference in the small details between the stuff that's really good, that charts and has fans and gets, you get to book shows and maybe you get to make music your career, versus the stuff that kind of just floats around on the internet, gets forgotten, you stop making music, and then you're stuck doing what you were before.
Mhm.
So it's like you got to go all in on it, pay
Real,
attention to those details. Yeah.
real. Did you give a score after all
Yeah,
that?
score is 0. No, I'm kidding. Score, for production, I think it's just to develop. It's not, like, horrible, but it's just,
Yeah,
spend a little bit more time really honing it, getting it to sound how you want it to.
yeah. I will give him this. In the description, he says, "Slap this together because I didn't make anything for a time and wanted to break out of that block."
Yeah,
So
cool.
one, I get it, bro. Like, I'm glad that you broke out of the block. You made something. Congratulations. But you submitted it to a feedback stream as a finished release.
And it's
So
public. It's
yeah,
it's not, it's out there.
that's how we are gonna listen to it and rate it accordingly. But I just want to say that, like, I understand breaking out of a block, it's tough. Um, so that's cool.
Well, and
Yeah, I
that's a
agree.
testament to just, like, if you wanna be good at anything or make it your thing, consistency is also so key, right? It's like attention to detail comes with consistency, and it becomes easier and faster. So,
Mhm,
there's no real way around, like, being successful at something, whatever it is. You have to be consistent, and in that process, you then get better at the skills that it takes, and you get better at paying attention to those details and being better than everybody else, which is how you then become successful.
mhm. For sure, for sure. Um, yeah, and I don't know why I just keep getting the thought of like, uh, if it's production that you don't want to have to, have all the details kind of hashing out. I think you, Menthol Slim, could really benefit from just like hooking up with a producer friend or something, or getting some beats. Because I think your vocals are like the delivery is really, really, really good. Not to say that your production has no potential because anybody can work on it and get better. But just what I hear now, I'm like, oh man, like he's got a really good voice. I think he can do this on like a better beat and would be received a little bit better.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
was still some whack shit that you did on the vocals, but like that's just what I'm hearing. That could also help get people out of blocks. Not doing the thing that they don't want to do. But production, I agree with Josh. I do think it was just kind of cloudy, kind of hazy in terms of just everything kind of blend together. I already talked about the beat composition of the synths weren't just weren't really moving around in any memorable way for me. 808 was kind of hard hitting, but I think in general it's just because of the mix being so cloudy. None of the percussive elements really punched me in the chest like I'd want this kind of song too. Like if it's going to be very hard, and when I think of Suicide Boys or Wu Tang or um, who's the other guy I mentioned, Yeet, it's like typically the percussion kind of needs to hit me where it hurts, and it was just kind of lacking. And I think it's because of all the shrouding in the mix. But
The masking and stuff. I mean, if you have other
masking, yeah.
other frequencies from other instruments that are overlapping, right? They haven't been trimmed, then you're just gonna lose. You're not gonna be able to hear the other ones. Basically, is what it boils down
Mhm.
to.
Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think it definitely didn't sound like the worst mix we've had here. So there's definitely stuff to work on. Um, and it seems like you know what you're doing. Like compared to my first beats, like this sounds better. But you know, uh, ideally you want to be better than that when you're releasing it and putting it in the public and stuff. So and submitting it places. So yeah, I'll go like 15% between green and yellow. I'll go with 20. Yeah.
Dope.
Overall, what do you have?
Um, Man, overall, I think I would say 80% between redo and develop.
I was gonna say the same thing. That was on the tip of my tongue.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like there's some, again, things we talked about that might be good to reconsider, sort of rethink, just go back into those details, and then others that are, working out pretty well and just need to be honed a little bit. But yeah,
Shouts out Asnodel. He's propping you for breaking the block. We all
Yes.
get it. We all get it. But yeah, I said my overall is the same as Josh's. So we can
Dope.
go to the next person now.
Which is
Just to,
Asnadel
oh, it
because
is.
he donated. Yup.
Oh, as a
Yeah, we need
dog.
to have like an overlay thing.
That's true. We need to change Josh's light screen too.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well, that yeah.
but all right, we got Satori. Is that Japanese? A Japanese influence? Let's see.
Hmm.
Um, Let me pause it real quick before it plays. I can read to the people what he said. Satori is a work in progress. Shouts out Asnadel. Some more weird sounds like last time, but I tried to mix it with more melodic elements this time. Ooh, okay. Did you send us a Satori before? Let me see. I don't remember the
I'm
album art, although it
curious.
looks really cool.
Why? How does this have? This is wait. This is private, right? Yeah, it's private. How does it have 20 views? Have you been getting a lot of feedback on this, or have
Yeah,
you just listened to it 20 times?
that's not even a lot if he's listening to places, like cars or different
Yeah, that's
machines.
true. That's true. Sending it
Sitting
around
around.
a bunch. Yeah, cool.
Satori is a Japanese Buddhist Buddhist word.
What did you say?
Buddhist word. I
You
don't
said
know. There's a little, yeah. There's like a little misspelling there. I was just making fun of it a little, but okay. That's Satori Asnadel. You ready, Josh?
yep. Let's do it.
Shouts out Asnadel. 3, 2, 1. Ooh,
Ooh.
already fits the outfit.
Okay.
I love the stereo on that. Is this mastered though?
Nice.
He's the one that gets like these underwater kind of sounding.
Really cool sounds. Yeah.
Oh, it's so squelchy.
Hell yeah. Really great stereo field usage.
Oh yeah.
Love that suspense.
So cool.
Ooh.
Cool.
Interesting. I always
That's fucking
have to
awesome.
comment on the endings
Yeah.
whenever, like, after, right immediately after.
Yeah.
I liked, like, right before the fade, just sort of the way that it took things out, whatever, and got quieter. I
Mhm.
did feel like the delay line, maybe the timing of it on that last snare was, like, slightly awkward. Like, maybe it was because it wasn't quite on, like, the right beat of the measure or something, or the rhythm of it. There's something that it's just, like, that's such a small thing, right? But
Mhm.
it's like, if that's the last thing that your, listener hears like after the song ends, that's gonna stick in their head. If you really stick the landing, it's like a gymnastics person like doing this crazy routine and then they have to like stick the landing. It makes all the difference if when they land, they are like upright rather than like sideways and then they're like trying to balance. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Small detail, but it can make a big difference in your perception.
I
Um,
don't know. I I listened back to it. It seems like
and
it's
I
okay.
know Chris has less extreme preferences on endings of songs usually.
Yeah, I think it sounds fine in time, but
I don't know
eh,
because it was here's why. Because the snare was already gone,
sure.
right? And so things were kind of there were these delays on the synth parts that were fading out, and then
Sure.
suddenly the snare kind of comes back in and quickly, like, hits its original volume, but then it's gone, and then there's this delay.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was something about the dynamics of it that I just thought felt slightly stilted or awkward or something.
Sure, sure, sure.
But you could make probably a couple of small changes, try different variations, and just, like, ask friends which one they like best.
Sure, 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 sure. Yep.
But anyways,
Um,
vibes, what do you think?
oh man, that was squelchy as shit, dude. That was cool. I love the kind of arpeggiator melody that comes back to us. Uh, very, very cool sounding. Sound design is amazing. Stereo field usage is phenomenal.
Yeah, so
Um,
cool.
you're using the whole field of it, and I'm never getting tired of it. Some people just like, oh, just push it out to the sides. That's it. That's all we're doing, or make it just rotate and then put it on the same fucking rotation. You kept it fresh the whole time, man. That was really cool. Um, I did ask about mastering because I had to turn it up from the last track, and I don't know. I haven't been listening to this computer. I just got back home, so I don't know what is supposed to be the correct listening volume, or um, the common listening volume. But you were definitely quieter, so that's what I was wondering if this at least was put through a limiter. Um, Mix wise, it seems pretty clean. You're getting all these different sounds through. I think it is. You asked if there's like a little bit of love that's needed. I do think the drums could be punching through the mix a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, it's there. It's a good sound. I love the bass, and I love or the kick, and I love the snare. And you have this like little pokeball opening kind of sound snare. It sounds really cool. It just needs to punch now, and I think compression and maybe perhaps some side chaining could help with that. But um, overall, I think it's coming along really nicely. There's a lot to like here. Um, I don't think anything ever threw me off in vibes. I think it's just fantastic, and then there's just some mixed things. That's all. Um, yeah, maybe in the melody, I did say I like that arpeggiator, but at the end of the day, it is just an arpeggiator still. So if there is some sort of kind of leading line motif that comes back to you know the drops are obviously the highlight of the song, but in between the drops where I feel like the melody should shine, it's just I'm left with an arpeggiator, and you're doing rhythmic things that are cool with it. But if there's just a little bit of a melody that I can come back to,
Yeah.
that kind of hooks me in, I'd really appreciate that. But anyways, I'm kind of doing all these different ones at once. Sorry, but that leads into my vibes. I think it's pretty much good to go. I think it's really good. There's just a couple small things and that I'd if I was working on this, I'd uh, you know put your way like as suggestions. But it's really close. I think my vibes. I think it's like 90 between green and yellow. I think it's really good. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, first of all, masterful usage of just sound design, the way that you're arranging and all the dynamics. As we know, it's not easy to make something that's very dynamic like that. It doesn't feel like it's like a cut and paste loop. This didn't feel like that. It felt again super dynamic, interesting, cool stereo usage stuff. And I didn't feel like it was too much stereo field,
Nope.
playing around. Even though there's a lot of it going on, it all seems to make sense. It's not too like automated feeling. It feels like it's supposed to be happening that way, which is good. And overall, just really fun to listen to. I mean, I can't really complain about a lot. My main observations for improvements are like a little bit in production, nothing like crazy, but we'll go into that later. But I think vibes overall, super impressive, super enjoyable to listen to. I would listen to this, a lot of fun. Um, I would give you like a 90% between yellow and green for vibes, and it's that last missing part is just around the production side, the way that it's kind of presented. So yeah, super good. Should we go to content?
Yeah. Sorry, I was blowing my nose.
You're good.
These
Um,
allergies, man, they're getting me lately.
yeah, it's that season. It's always that season. Um,
Is that
so
season?
yeah, content. I think again, like everything you're. I think I don't really have any complaints in the content department, honestly. Aside from maybe it would be nice to have more of a hooky melody, like Chris mentioned.
Mhm.
Even like using the same sound as you are with the arpeggiator, the same instrument, but when you slow it down, right? So when the subdivisions are more consumable, it becomes easier to make a memorable melody.
Mhm.
Uh, it's a little bit harder for people to really hook on to like super fast arpeggiated notes because they're so fast, right? You need to give people like a sentence that their brain can remember melodically.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't
it
even
doesn't.
know if there's just one chord, right? There wasn't more than one chord.
Mm, I don't know. I'd have to go back, but I'm remembering like three chords.
Okay, shit. My bad.
The minor one, the um, the major three, and
Damn, you're
the
speaking a
I
language
don't
I
know what
don't
the
know.
other one would be. I'm bullshitting. Maybe it is that. I don't know. But anyways,
You
yeah,
probably know.
well, yeah, just melody would be nice, I think. But other than that, again, really masterful usage of just your arranging skills, and the instruments you're using sound good and all of that. I think I would give you just a green on, well, actually 95% on content, or maybe again 90, because I think the melody is a pretty important thing for people, like then having it playing back in their heads afterwards. I'm having like a weird sort of imprint of like a general arpeggiation, because that we were just talking about that. But I couldn't necessarily. I don't have like a super crisp earwormy thing happening where I can really remember the specifics of how it sounds. I
Yeah,
remember that I liked it, but I'm not going to be humming it later. Is the kind of the point?
exactly. Yeah. And there might be different people, like maybe there's just sound heads. Maybe you're one of those guys
Yeah, sure.
um, that they're like, oh man, that little squelchy sound that happens at 2 minute 30 seconds. I fucking
Yeah.
love that. I want to, recreate that in my mind and hum it around or whatever.
Mhm.
Maybe me and Josh are similar in that we like that with melodies and stuff. So that's why we bring it up. But I do think maybe in this space you can get away with a little bit of less melody, but I think what could elevate the song from like good, really solid, love the sound design to like, oh man, this is a good song. Like this is gonna uh, just stay in my ear is that melody piece. So, um, anyways, we're at content. I said a lot in vibes already, so I need to see if there's anything else that I would add to Josh's, and I don't think so. I think I've said what I wanted to say with content. I think it's really good. I talked about the melody piece there, um, and yeah, the sound design of the drops is fantastic. It's really cool, very unique too. I haven't heard anybody like it, so it's it's rare to hear something that's super unique but also super good. So, congratulations.
Yeah, that's hard.
Um, but yeah, there's like no earworm. Yeah, uh, your sound design makes it feel like there's worms in my ear, but it's not like the earworm that we need. You know what I'm saying?
Electric worms. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of squelchy happening, but I'm at 90 to 95 as well
Hmm.
between good and yell. It's pretty much there, man.
Cool.
Production, what do you have?
All right, production. Asindel, you want in-depth feedback? Well, here we go. Um, I think the production is like it's very crisp sounding, right? It's not muddy. I would say potentially there's room to clean up a couple of things in the high end department. So it's not really like the high mids, right? It's not that there's like low mid buildup or anything like that happening. I would say there's actually not enough low mid and maybe lows in some points, and that could be for a couple different reasons. But um, yeah, the main thing is like the overall frequency spectrum is a little bit bright a lot of the time. And there's also this effect where it feels like the stereoized parts, right? The things that are being panned left and right and whatnot, and like the arpeggiators and like all of those sort of sparkly top end elements feel very close to your ears because, well, they have high frequencies and they're fairly loud compared to everything else.
Yeah,
So it's going to make it feel like it's right here. But your core elements like your bass and your drums and your low mid stuff, all of that feels like it's further away. Like I mean, it's in the center, so it feels more like it's in front of you, kind of. But it feels like the high pitch stuff, which are not core elements, are right here, and the other stuff is a little bit further forward. So you've got like not the space that it draws around your listening experience is like oblong, sort of. It's like, oh, I want more of the bass and drums, but it's way out there. But at least I've got these high pitched arpeggiators and sparkly effects right in my ears. So
Yep.
you can see like you really want to make sure that the bass feels like it is inside your head, especially if you're listening on headphones, whatever. If you're listening on speakers, you want it to feel like it's in your chest. And I'm guessing on speakers, it probably doesn't quite feel like that, at least with the level of presence that you want to make it feel well rounded. That's what this is all about that I'm talking about.
Mm.
It feels like there's a bias towards the stereo stuff and
Yeah,
not enough
towards the cool
emphasis.
squelchy sounds.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's very cool, but not
Yeah.
enough emphasis on the core stuff. And again, this is very common. Sometimes it's unavoidable because of the way that people's listening systems differ, right? So maybe it's something to do with that. Best thing that you can do is make sure that your listening system is accurate. It's good to have different systems you can listen on to see how it differs across. Yeah, like trying it on headphones, trying it on decent headphones. These are good because a lot of people have them, and they're very flat frequency curves. So they're not going to be exaggerating stuff that other people won't hear. Going in your car and listening to it there, that can be one of the most revealing places to test your music, as long as your car has like a halfway decent sound system, or a friend's car or parent's car or whatever.
Shout
You
out
will
Prod by
hear
Dante. Thank you for the follow. Sorry.
any discrepancies with low end and sub bass, especially in your car. And you might be like, oh my God, I can't believe how different this sounds from my reference tracks, right? You play your favorite artists alongside it on any of these systems or your main system and see how they compare. Um, so that's just like general advice for how to make sure that your track is rounded out the way that it should be or that you want it to be. Um, I feel like those are some tips you can probably use to try to achieve the desired end result. But my impression was just I'm not getting enough of the thump of the kick and the snare or whatever. It feels a little bit more removed than those other elements, and it makes balancing the volume a little bit more difficult. Like I want to turn up to be able to hear the fundamental stuff, but the high pitched stuff becomes too loud and ear piercing. So it's just like correcting that balance, basically. Do you have anything to add, or what do you think?
I think you masterfully described the issues that I was trying to pinpoint. Yeah, and I talked about it like the drums not punching through the mix. The way you described it, where the stereo elements were louder than everything else, and they were like right in front of me, like in the stereo field. They seemed like they were the main focus. When um, you say it's psychedelic bass, I don't know that genre specifically, but I imagine it's similar to like future bass or maybe even like a subgenre of it. Psychedelic meaning these kind of weird squelchy sounds that you're diving into, which is really cool. But the fundamental part of that genre is the future bass, and if you listen to any future bass song, those drums hit hard and they hit you in the chest, and they need to be punching through the mix. So I mentioned side shading before, but I'd say that is a solution. That's not a solution directly to Josh's problem. That's probably like a secondary thing. Like once you have the balance of the volume and frequencies done, then you could do stuff like side chaining and then kind of pumping up the limiter and really getting it to like a loud kind of festival level. But do the balancing stuff first. Like understand which ones should be focused. Like the kick and the snare for sure.
Yeah.
Um, because they're transient, right? They only come in a little bit. Like that's when they hit, they need to hit, and then everything else that you have, um, those like stereo things that are always in the ear, like they can come back in and fill out the rest of the part. But when the drums are there, they need to be hitting hard, especially in that genre. Um, but yeah, so I think he masterfully described what I was hearing. That's probably why I think when you do that, say if you duck the sounds of the kind of stereo panned sounds. If you duck those a little bit, I think you'll be able to push up the whole mix in general, and then really kind of get to that future bass, uh, hard hitting level.
What do you mean by ducking those sounds? Just to be clear.
just lowering the volume, not
Oh,
not
okay.
like actively
Not any
making it.
like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, nothing like that. Although that will help, but I think the first thing you should do is balance it, and then
Yeah.
uh, do some dynamics, like compression or something.
I think there could be room for mastering, and maybe the reason why we sort of feel that is because mastering is really good at making the punchy parts feel right. I think
Yeah.
mastering is as much about dynamics as it is anything. I mean, it's dynamics and it's also frequency response, right? So
Mm.
that's like what we were feeling, right? Is like there's not enough of that punchiness of the drums, and there's a little bit of a frequency imbalance. So like mastering can help with that. But since you're the mixing engineer too, like you should probably do it in the mix first and then make
Yeah.
subtle adjustments at the end.
Mix always first.
But
Yep.
having a mastering pipeline, something that's applying, like subtle limiting or whatever it is to the whole bus can make its own unique effect that gets it ready for streaming and whatnot. So I would still do both. And he said, I used different kicks for the drop and verses. The verse kick is softer. Should I just use the drop kick for everything and try to make it punchier?
Yeah. I
You
just
could
listened. Yeah. Sorry. What?
his question in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it there.
Yeah. I saw
Um,
it.
so I think there's it can be good to have different variations on your sounds in different parts of the song. It makes it more dynamic and interesting. You don't want them to be too different because that can throw the balance off, right? But
Yeah.
I think your best solution would be some amount of layering, probably. You might want to have both of them layered in both sections, but change the balance of the layering,
Mm.
or change some effect that's on one of them. It's maybe a little bit crunchier or something, or again, there's more sub bass or something like that. Like you can make them sound a little bit different to
Mm.
make the chorus sound higher energy or whatever you want to do, or punchier. That's probably a good idea. But if you
Mm.
want to incorporate some consistency, doing some layering or some parallel processing that's not exactly the same in both might be a good way to have the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
consistency and the punch.
I listened back to a little bit. I do like Josh's idea there. Um, I wanted to see like, oh, was the problem essentially fixed in the chorus versus the verse? I do think that the verse one needs to be heightened a little bit more than the chorus does, but I think in general that comment that we said about the kicks needing to punch through still apply to both of them. Um, although the chorus one is a little bit closer. So um, yeah, just wanted to comment that on that direct question. Thank you for the direct question, by the way. We appreciate
Mhm.
that. Um, God, did we give a score? We're on production, right?
Yeah, production. I don't think I gave a score actually.
I think it's for me. It's like 80.
Yeah, I would say the same. It's mostly good. It's just like the sort of top level balance things. Bless you.
Thank you,
God bless your
man.
soul.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Whew. But overall, dude, I'm really liking how this is turning out. I can't wait to hear the final version of it
Yeah, this
once
is
you
dope.
touch it up. Because artistically, this is fantastic, and like from a sound design point, it's something I'd love to shine a light on. Like this is really cool,
Yeah, for sure.
um, very unique. So I think overall I'm at like 90 between green and yellow. It's almost there. It's ready to go, and I think there's a lot of potential for it to like be like a really unique and earwormy song that I'd love to put on a particular playlist. But anyways,
Yeah. Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah, I think I was at 90 or 95 for like vibes and content, and then production was 80. And I think it's an important part. Like I do think there's a decently noticeable disparity in like the punchiness of
Yep.
those drums and the fundamental elements. I'm gonna give it a 88.8%
Damn.
track
All right.
track total, just to be specific.
80.8%. Some more low end here at Fast
No,
Track. Let's see.
88.8%.
No, I know. I just wanted to make an 808 joke, but
Oh,
okay.
okay. Yeah. All right,
There's they're not even. Yeah,
88.808.
yeah. There you go. There's not even 808 in here, but had to put
Yeah.
it in. But yeah, good shit. Thank you for the dono, Asmodel. Hopefully that feedback helps, and we can't wait to hear the whole thing.
Hell yeah.
Um, Proud by Dante. I sent a chill beat. Let me see. Yes, we have it. So Dante, just to let you know, we have a big queue right now. We have two queues: paid queue, which is empty, um, and the free queue. So free queue has one, two, three. Let's see,
Paid
God's
queue,
War.
which was occupied by Asendel just now. Just FYI.
Yeah, just opened. Paid queue goes first. So God's Warrior, Balenci Baby, Music by Div, Jokerhead, KVS, Seba, Quarhi, Zaug, Asnadel, he just went, so not anymore. Xeno Dubstep, Meadle, and Dante. So you're number what, 11 or did 16? Did I count wrong?
I don't know. 1, 2,
One of
3, something
those.
like that.
Either way, like
It
we
ain't
don't.
gonna be today, realistically, just
Yeah,
based on the number of submissions.
yeah. If you saw our feedback, we go really in depth and we kind of give. I think each person gets at least like 10 minutes. It's kind of crazy. So we only
15,
go
yeah.
till 7:30. Yeah, 10 or 15. So if you want to skip that line, if you need feedback right now,
He's out.
with
Let's go on.
oh he's out.
Yeah, he doesn't want it.
All right, later, bro. I
Thank you
even
for
see the chat.
joining. It's all good. We have more than enough to go through. So let's if anybody
All right.
else wants to do
Wait, did
that
he rage or
option.
something? Let me see.
No,
Or
he
my piece
just
out.
he
Oh,
just
okay.
threw a little fit and left. But it's all
We
good.
get it. We get it.
We understand times are tough, recession, quote unquote.
Yep.
The market likes to
Real.
speculate, but we'll see.
Actually real.
Anyways, so we've got in that case, God's Warrior is next, and then we've got Balenci
God's
Baby, which we'll have to pick one of Balenci's songs to do.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm here to help. Welcome to the chat. I see that you requested Discord. Get up
It's
in
all
there
good.
and join, please.
Yeah. Are you trying to
We
submit? Let me see.
Yeah, so if you're trying to submit, we've got the link there. Yeah, we can send it in the chat. And if you want to be reviewed today, we've got about 45 minutes, give or take, left in the stream. A lot of submissions. So again, if anybody wants to be reviewed today and you're here, just leave us a tip in our little Streamlabs link there.
Lil.
So
Yeah.
if nobody else wants to do that, if you do, type in the chat before we go to the next track. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'll go to God's Warrior here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
gotta say, because like we have a big queue right now. I think it's like 16 people, and we only get through like 6 per stream. If you submit, we'll definitely get to your song, but it
It'll
might
be in
be
a
a long
future
time.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, God's Warrior, I just clicked their submission. It's no longer there. So
All right. Well, that's helpful.
one off the queue, guys. One off the queue. So we go to Balenci Baby. I think they visited last week, and they told us which song to play, but they're not here, so we forgot. Balenci Baby. If you're here, let us know. Or else I guess we're just gonna pick the first submitted one.
Probably the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Larena. Or if anybody wants to skip the queue and go right away, if you need feedback today, if you need it right now, then we don't want to keep you waiting. We want to give you the feedback that you want. It's just that we got to be fair to everybody that's submitted, Cool. But yeah, so we'll just go to Balenci Baby then. Bentayga, prod by Le Collective. It's a finished release. There's no project description. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Bentayga, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Is that lean right there, bro?
could be wine.
Nah,
It is
it's
purple.
In a spoon.
It's coming out of a. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a Sprite bottle.
Yep, you're right.
Bentley Bottega. I got a brand new wrist, it's a Bottega. I got a brand new bitch, her name Elena.
I got that lazy
I'm
delivery.
that big ass shit,
Yeah.
smoking Lorena. Yeah, I'm that big ass shit, smoking Lorena. Yeah, I got a brand new bitch, smoking Lorena. Yeah, nigga, I'm pouring your rain, my family.
I gotta say that snare sounds like it's made of air.
Yeah, my brother come for the 6, he got a Drake. Yeah, my brother come with a diamond, he got a lake. Yeah, all of my niggas be shining, shine like a lake. Yeah, nigga,
There's just no punch to anything,
Yeah, nigga, I come with a leg, put it in a bag.
There's a lot of girth to the bass, but not a lot of impact.
Yeah, nigga, sippin' on red, sippin' on red. Yeah, brand new ass tortilla, call that bag.
Did somebody say girth?
I did.
Yeah, hitting that bitch from the back and I get it tugging.
This guy's a Yeet clone, sounds like.
Yeah, I'ma go call me a break and I get it smuggling. Yeah, I'm that big ass shit, Bentley Bottega. I got a brand new wrist, it's a Bottega.
A little early on the
I got a
delivery.
brand new bitch, her name Elena.
I like it.
I'm that big ass shit,
No,
smoking
you
Lorena.
do that? It's very early.
I'm that big ass shit, Bentley
Not every
Bottega.
line.
I got a brand new wrist,
That was
it's a Bottega.
It seems to be a trend.
I got a brand new bitch, her name Elena. I'm that big ass shit, smoking Lorena.
I like that little boop boop boop.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that ending, I wanted it to fade longer, but I liked that.
Yeah,
That was cool.
that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
man,
That's pretty
it's
solid.
interesting. It's like there's a cool collection of sounds there for the most part,
Hmm.
and it's not the worst production. It's not the worst delivery.
Nope.
Lyrically, I don't know what's happening, but
Yeah.
otherwise, it's not bad. I think it's maybe a little bit on the sort of stock side in
Yeah.
general.
Generic. Yeah.
A little
This
bit,
is like this is Yeet, but
yeah.
Yeet at home. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is a little bit, generic and just yeah, the usage of that 808. At first, it was like, "Oh, yeah, this is thick," and then it was like, "Oh, there's no oomph at all."
Mm-hmm.
Especially that snare. That snare was sad.
Mm-hmm.
Its snare sounded dead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, what do you think?
I think it's Yeet, but Yeet at home.
Yep.
Like no son, we have Yeet at home, and this is Yeet at home. Um, it's I don't know, it's like solid, but it's just there's a couple things to like, you know. I just can't help but think the vocalist is just trying to do what every Yeet clone is trying to do right now, which is sound like Yeet and not bring any sort of originality. I think it's like solid. It's just stock. It's I don't know what your story is. I listening to your song. I don't know what Bentayga is, but or why it's important. Um, I think your delivery's solid though. I think um, the song or the beat itself is pretty chill. Um, but yeah, there's a little like I like the little melodic like like that little thing, and I think you kind of turned it up near at the end there. It sounded really cool, but
Yeah.
throughout the most part, it was just kind of chilled, laid back, just lazy. Everything lazy about it, kind of. It's just like someone who is on lean makes a song about feeling about being on lean, and this is what it sounds like. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
sure.
feel like the market's a little saturated for it too. So, um, yeah, it is what it is. I just kind of feeling a little bit of just a little kind of MIDI vibes, but is what it is. So overall, my vibes is like 25 to 30%. It's like I've heard this before and I've heard it done better. Um, I like it's solid, and I think you guys have potential. It's just show me something that's unique, you know, that's you, that only you do, like not Yeet. Because if I want Yeet, I'll listen to Yeet, and Yeet will do it better because he's Yeet. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, sorry, man. I get tired of people doing the same fucking
I
shit.
know, I know.
But yeah,
I agree.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else vibes. I don't remember if I gave a score or not. I think I would say like I don't know. It's weird because yeah, it's very generic, but it's not horrible. But musically, it's a little weak. 20% between yellow and green.
mm-hmm. Did you say it's not generic? It is generic.
No, it is. It is generic.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Content. I already kind of said what I thought. What do you have?
Wait,
Do you
wait.
have
What was
anything?
your score for vibes?
Oh, did I not say score? I
I
think I
think
said
so.
like 25 to 30%
Oh,
between
okay,
green and
okay.
yellow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a yeet. This is a yeet type song. Like we have type beats. This is a yeet type song.
Yeet type beat.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I think like content wise, again, lyrically, there's nothing that stood out to me, and maybe it was also delivery. It's just like it's not like
That's the thing.
absorbable because you don't know.
It's the lean delivery. It's like I'm
Yeah,
on lean. I'm gonna just slur all my words together, and
yeah.
you know,
There's
he
only a
he
very
even added like the southern drawl that yeet brings. Like it's just
yeah, yeah. There's. I thought you were gonna say a southern drawl that lean brings.
I don't know if lean does. I haven't done lean, but
There's only a very small percentage of society that is gonna be on your same lean wavelength if you think
mhm,
about it. But anyways, yeah, I don't know, not super unique. The 808 was super loud. Where it's just like overshadowing everything. It's just unnecessary. It's again one of those kind of classic amateur flags where you know that somebody wants the 808 to really hit and be girthy and stuff. And so the solution is the most obvious thing, just turn it up. And that's not always the best way to achieve the effect you're going for, because if you it's all about balance. And if imagine the limit is that if you turn it up all the way, we won't be able to hear anything else, and then the song is like worthless, right? So the solution isn't purely just like make it louder, obviously you can't do that. um, it's just thinking about how you can make it perceptively hit harder. And in this case, it had no like beater noise, right? Or it didn't have like any sort of harmonic, like
Transient. Yeah.
timbral complexity, yeah, transient, that would make it feel like it's punching rather than just being like a big blob of bass, you know? And it's like that's fine as long as you have something that keeps that rhythmic engine going, right? And you need transients to do that. Um, so yeah, that's the main thing. It is kind of production as well, but just I don't know. There wasn't a lot unique. It was pretty simple in terms of content. Again, I would kind of just say like maybe 10% between yellow and green.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
I
It's
think
like
right now we're like almost at a loss for what to say because there's not a lot to like comment on. Sort
you
of.
didn't give me anything, you know?
Yeah,
Like you just didn't give me anything that stands
that
out
really stands
besides
out. Yeah,
yeah, that's just like I don't know.
that's
I think
original or like
yeah, I think
feels
some
like
of the
it's
stuff I
from
even listened
you.
to, you're like smoking on something. And I think you said Lorena, which I think is the name of the song you submitted to us.
It changed now though.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it's
a different song
Bentayga.
now. I don't know. Um, yeah, everybody's smoking on shit nowadays, and it's making songs about it. It's just like, come on, man. Like, I don't know.
It's like saying
It might even be
I wake up in the
subjective. Like
morning
that
and
might
breathe.
be subjective. Like some people like that shit. Some people listen to that shit all day. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Uh,
It's like saying I wake up in the morning and take a breath. Like
at least
duh,
with
everyone
Yeet,
fucking does
bro.
that.
Like Yeet says some weird ass shit, or like this shit is like what? What did he just say?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
with this one, I'm like smoking on something. He's the best at something.
Hmm.
Ah, God.
I'm a stable genius.
Yeah. Stable genius. I would have
That's
liked to heard that.
yeah, exactly.
That
It's
would have
more
been more.
original.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, man. I think so. There is some stuff about like people starting out, or what are you but your influences, and this person really likes Yeet, and they're like, I want to make music like Yeet does. I think that's how a lot of us start, but eventually, man, like I'd love to hear what you do and what you do differently, what you bring to the table. Because, like I said, if I want Yeet, I'll just listen to Yeet. So, um, I'm just I like the beat in some points like that. It was cool. It's kind of I at first I kind of agree with Josh's vibes, but maybe it's just a testament to like as you listen to something, you get more used to it. Like, but I was getting more and more like chill vibes through it, so
Hmm.
I kind of liked it. It was a nice little journey. It's just middle of the road, you know. So
Yeah,
for that, I'm just 10% between green and yellow.
sure.
You already said production stuff, right? What do you have? What else do you have?
Yeah, really, it's just like I almost feel like you could add. It just feels very bare bones. This is again content, but there's just like not a lot going on.
Mhm.
And but production wise, the issue is just that 808 is like taking up too much space. The snare has no, it has nothing to it. It has no substance. It has no attack. It just sounds like a pile of sticks, pretty much. And I don't know. There's like just not that much to comment on because it's like not that interesting or there's not enough happening even. So I don't know. Like production, the main thing, your 808's way too loud, and there's not enough like happening, or there's not enough that's unique that's happening or
Mhm.
interesting. So yeah, I don't know. Production, I think like it's not horrible, but I would say 20% between yellow and green.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I pretty much agree with what Josh says. I don't think there's much to comment else. Um, is the 808 having no transient? It's yeah. I don't know, man. I can't even comment too much on it.
All right, well, we don't need to. We can move on.
It's just like yeah, it's just like me. I just took like lean or something, and
Yeah,
I'll
you're feeling it.
giving that feedback. It's just like,
You
dude.
feeling it yet, Mr. Krabs?
Yeah, I'll piggyback off Josh's score 20% between green and yellow. It's just like yeah. Overall, I think that's where I'm at. 25%, 30% between green and yellow. What do you have?
I'm just gonna give it 20.
Do it.
Maybe even 15. It's just like, yeah, you made like a stock song. Like I
This is a
wanna hear I'm
yeah.
frustrated because I wanna hear like, you have talent, right? You
You
made
do,
this
yeah,
thing,
you made something
right?
somewhat solid,
But,
you know?
like, do your own thing, right? Like, everybody it's not gonna work if you just wanna be, like, exactly like somebody else or, like, the sort of amalgamation of everyone else. That's even
Mhm.
worse, right? Like, it's not even there's, like, a lot of personality that somebody else already owns. It's just, like, you're this average of everyone. That's, like, super boring. So
Mhm.
think about what you really like and what your voice is and what you have to say, and don't think like don't make making music have your goal be to sound like everyone else because you think that's how you'll be successful or something
Mhm.
or I don't know, like maybe you just need to do more soul searching and whatnot, but would
Or
love to
just put
hear.
yourself out there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's more fulfilling to make something that really feels like it's your own, and you're not just repeating other stuff that people have done. Like, if you have a message and you're getting it out there effectively and people like you for that, that's gonna be a lot more rewarding in the long term. So,
Real.
just something to think about.
Real, real, real. Okay. But thank you, Balenci baby.
Yes.
Um, when you tune in next time, we'll let you know that we did Sip My Drink.
Yeah.
Um, wait, no, it's called Lorena. Sorry. Sip My Drink
Lorena,
is the other one,
next
and
one.
then Treese is the other one. But
Yes.
okay. We'll go to Music by Div. Is there
So,
anybody in the chat that wants to skip the queue? We do have a
yeah.
long queue.
So we got time for 2 more. We'll try to get through those. And oh, and yeah, I'm here to help says that you sent the tip. Um,
Oh shit. I
let's
gotta see.
see. I didn't get an
Alright, we'll
email.
check it out.
I did not get an email, but let me check the actual back end here.
Do you see it?
God damn it. It's wait, did you find it?
Me?
Yeah, or I thought you were looking for it. You're searching for something else there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm blowing my nose, bro.
Searching for gold.
Dude, my
Uh,
allergies are just getting worse. Am I allergic to tissues? What is happening,
oh, I don't
bro?
know.
This is sad.
Here to help. Got it. Thank you very much. Except technically our minimum is $5, so
All
just
right.
we get taxed out the ass for PayPal.
All
Um,
right. Well,
but
I
yeah,
guess we'll take it.
it's all
Thank
good.
you
We'll
very
take
much.
it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right. So yeah, I'm here to help. Is this a finished release? Nope, it's a work in progress. There is no project description, so let us know here to help. Like, what are you trying to have us listen for? Um, at what point of the process are you in? Is this a demo? Is this a like I fully mix and master it, guys? Please just I'm about to release it, but if I could do another mix through with some other ears, yeah, just let us know. Let us know what you're at. But you ready, Josh?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, one more time with you. 3, 2, 1. Mr. McChiquino. Wait, we've had this person before.
Oh, we have, yeah.
One more time with you, 'cause I've been through so much.
Yeah, I'm here to help. How do you know Mr. McChiquino?
Oh, yeah. When you see what we've
That's
been
nice.
That
through.
piano in the background is great.
Oh, can't you see that I want more time with you?
Is
I
there
want
distortion on the vocal?
more time here with you. What do I gotta do to be here with you?
Nice major 7th chord there.
One more time with you. One more time with you. What do I gotta do?
Whew.
Yeah.
Nice vocals.
'Cause I've
A lot
been
of delay.
through so much.
Good vocal.
What do I gotta do? Oh yeah, one more time with you. One more time with you. One more time with you.
It's soothing.
Yeah.
And I know,
Whoa.
and I know, and And I know.
Oof.
Wow. You know
Ended
what?
on the is it the 5?
I don't know, bro.
It ends on like an unresolved thing, which is fine. Like sometimes you do end a song on the 4 or the 5 and it's cool. But yeah.
Yeah. Was
Wow.
that you here to help? Were you singing? Let us know. Let me see.
Yeah, let us know.
Bro, this is fire. Hey, shouts up Planet Spaz. What's up? Um People liking it. Yeah, dude. I really do like your vocals. They're very soothing. Um very nice voice. I kind of got super pumped up though when you went high for a little bit. I was like, "Ooh, keep going here. Like this sounds great."
Mhm.
Um, it could help with the journey of the song too, because I think you've kind of let's just hung out in the same place, you know. Um, but yeah, what do you got for vibes and first impressions, Josh?
Yeah. Overall, like it's very soothing, I think, like we said, which is good. It's not easy to it's not easy to make music that really does put you in that mood, because if you, like, have, like, awkward, like, fuck ups or whatever, it brings people out of it, but there wasn't really much of that. There are a couple things on production that I think could be worked on a little bit, but overall, it is enjoyable to listen to, I would say, for the most part. I will say the production gets in the way of some things, um, but yeah, it's nice to listen to. I don't know if much more than that. I think just like
I agree.
score wise, I would probably say like 85% between yellow and green for vibes.
Yeah, I agree with the. I think it's very soothing. It's nice to listen to. Um, I do love the chords that are happening and stuff in the instrumental, but I think some stuff in the production is definitely getting in the way. I think the vocals are fantastic, but I think they're very loud compared to everything else. And there's some
Yeah.
processing things that we'll go into that I'm sure Josh has heard something similar. Um, I'm at like 70, 75 because for this to fully, and you kind of said this before in a previous song that we reviewed tonight, but this kind of song I feel like would thrive if it had some space.
Mm,
And right now it's just like a wall of sound almost. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, so I think that's very counterintuitive to the kind of vibe that you're kind of set. So I'll go 75. Um, Conte, what do you have?
Again, I mean, the one like content sound thing I can maybe give advice on, again, it might be more production, but the bass sound, there's something weird about it, like something like very compressed or I don't
Yeah.
even know how to describe it. It's like it's not all encompassing, but it's very like present. Like
Dude,
it's
he said it's 7 to 9 LUFs. What is it? LUFS?
yeah, it's like a loudness measure.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I think that's super loud. Like if you're trying to
well,
push to
I
like Spotify, they duck it to 14, minus 14. So you should be mixing to minus 14 anyways. Mixing and
yeah,
master.
right.
Um,
Yeah, you don't want Spotify to do it for you.
yeah, and I
Um,
think SoundCloud might be even worse. So be careful with that. Why did
that
you
that
decide to go there?
that
Yeah.
could actually be for partly what I'm hearing here. There's a little bit, even on the
Yeah,
vocals, a little bit of like a
exactly.
sort of crushed thing that I'm
Distortion.
hearing.
Yeah.
Where it just sounds like some sort of encoder, you know, artifacting or something like
Yep.
that. It sounds a little
Yep.
low quality. And SoundCloud isn't like necessarily the best for quality audio, let's be
Yep.
honest.
Yep.
Nor is Spotify. But it obviously it's not as bad. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about that bass. And you know what? I think like LUFS and just generally these encoders, the way they measure loudness and compress has a lot to do with the low end and the bass, right? There's sort of more energy that's contained in that region.
Yep.
And if you've got a super compressed like low end, even if the other parts are fairly dynamic, which the waveform looks decently dynamic, it doesn't look completely squashed. But I'm guessing it's because the high end stuff is pretty dynamic, and their waveform generating algorithm probably relies more on that stuff. But the low end sounds really, really, really compressed. There
Mhm.
again,
Here
there's
at Fast
something
Track, we
weird.
don't want a compressed low end. We want a nice expanded low end, right? Is that right?
Right. We want it to bounce.
Josh?
uh,
Oh, yeah.
but like really you do want it to be dynamic, and it's easy to get into a weird sounding bass or a weird sounding anything when too much compression and processing happens on it. You create uncanny sort of audio perceptive effects that don't sound natural because the dynamics don't make like sense in terms of the physics of how they're supposed to sound to your ear. So there's just something a little over processed to me that I'm hearing there, and it's strange because your vocals and the rest of the parts do sound dynamic. Again, they sound like they have good spacing and stuff, and I can sort of feel them, moving around and breathing. But that center of this super compressed bass is like sort of distracting. It's taking away from the dynamics a little bit. So I would be really careful with that. Do some production work on that one.
Mm.
But again, your vocals and the lines and the melodies and the chords, all of that stuff, the writing itself, and I think most of the arrangement is really nice and pleasant to listen to. Um, I don't think I have any like immediate feedback on that at first listen. I liked it.
What for the
Content,
content?
yeah,
Yeah,
for content, I
'cause
think I would.
we just went super production heavy.
Yeah, that was definitely more production, but it's maybe the bass sound is a factor.
No,
Um,
yeah, I think that's a hint to like. I don't think not much is wrong with the content. I think a lot of it is
yeah,
production. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, again, nothing else on content. I think I would say like 90% for content.
Mhm. The thing for me about content is I couldn't hear much of it.
Mm,
That's the thing, and I think it's production that's clouding everything. It's literally that's what it feels like. It's just super cloudy. There's something that's nice happening flying off in the sky there, that being this dude's
mm,
vocals, and then some light shining out there, which is like the piano, which comes in every now and again. But it's all just behind this big wall of cloud, and I just can't make it all out. Like I can't really recall any lyrics that I heard. Um, that are memorable. I don't recall any sort of story, and maybe there is. All I recall is just a nice melody, nice soothing voice,
which
nice
I do
piano.
have some earworming happening for that melody. Like it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Like I think you have a great ear for it. And Mr. McChino has a great ear for the piano and just the chord structure and stuff in general. But I think it's just overshadowed by stuff in the production, like too much vocal delay. That's just
Okay.
running into like one bar is running into another, So I really just don't hear anything enunciated. I think there's just a ton of reverb on everything. So
Mhm.
like the time when I was like, oh, I'd really like this piano was when I actually heard it, and I think you guys put some automation to where you let it come through a little more dry, and then put it back on wet. It's like, dude, there's this. It's way too washed out
Wet.
for me. Yeah, way too wet. Yeah, yet it's so much wet that it's washed out. I feel like it's a good way to describe the sound
Yeah.
right now. If I were you guys, I would love to just like strip back everything and just start with the bare
Oh
bones of
man.
what you have,
Yeah,
and
because
then
the
just be
this
subtle with it because the
yeah.
bare bones that you have are like good. Like
This
the
could be like
voice,
3 instruments, dude. Like,
yeah,
seriously, it could be like the bass, like a more natural sounding bass, and the
yeah,
piano, and the vocals, and like a light, like, background, like, synth string
yeah,
part or something like that, and it could even be that, like, some parts of it are more bare bones, and then later on it builds a little more,
yeah,
but it's like when you have a good song, and you have good melodies, and chords, and lyrics, and delivery, and all that stuff, you really don't wanna fuck it up with, like, overproducing,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, don't shoot your guys in the foot. Like you guys are doing some good stuff. Like don't try to make it all well look like you can make it for art's sake like reverbed out and like make you sound like angelic or whatever you can. There are ways to do it, but right now it's just way too washed out in my opinion. So what I would do if I were you guys would be start with the bare bones and then just add subtle tweaks here and there. Like don't start out with this washed out mix. um but yeah, I only say all that because from what I hear in the content, I pretty much like it, but it's just before I can go into an in depth analysis, I really need to hear more of the content to really kind of give it anything.
Yeah, sure.
Um, a lot of it's just being overshadowed, shrouded, shadowed, both.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I have a stuffed nose, man. Anyways,
Mhm.
um, it's hard for me to rate it, but from what I hear, I like it. So I guess 75 to 80 between green and yellow.
For content?
Um, yeah, for content. From what I hear, it's decent. I don't know. Maybe I'll rate it lower. Maybe I'll put 50 because I can't. I don't hear any sort of story. Like I'm sure there's something there, but I
Hmm.
there's no journey for me. Uh, it's just hanging out at the same place. There is a part, and you asked me when. It's near the end, like the last third of the song, that you go into this higher register just for a second, and I was like, "Ooh!" I thought it was almost a different singer. You only do it for a second, and then you come back down, which I was like, "Damn!" Like I wish you could do that. I got pumped because the whole song just feels kind of flat, like in terms of like the hero's journey, whatever. It's just like a flat journey.
Yeah.
If there's some sort of
Damn. I
beginning
thought.
buildup that has like very stripped back and it's not overproduced, it's not washed out, like it's very dry, and then you can go into it later and put more energy, you go higher, and then you have like a whole room filled out with reverb or something, like give us a little journey, so output 50.
Okay.
We have production.
Yeah, production. Again talked about the bass stuff. That's I think the most important thing to kind of address. And like you might want to try just restarting on working on that bass. Or try it like that. Try it like stripping back the original, whatever. Try a couple different approaches so you're not sort of pigeonholed into the one that you're using right now. Um, the other thing that we both touched on a little bit, Chris especially, was the delay. Um, I think the solution probably would be to make sure that the repeats, it could be that they decay faster, or like, I mean, it depends what delay parameters you're using, right? Because sometimes there's a set number of repeats that you can set, and as well as the decay. So you could have like 3 repeats, but they're all the same volume, and then it stops. Or it could be like a more analog style delay where you just set the decay, and so the next one's going to be 80% as loud, and the next one 80% of that, and it gets progressively quieter until it's gone. The problem that I heard is that each delay repeat was like basically the same volume as the prior one, or like not, the decay was not dropping off fast enough. It should go more like that, not like that. So those loud decays are just still going on for so long, and they are cutting into the actual vocal because they're like the same volume. So that's the big thing. I don't know what's going on with the reverb because sometimes some delays do have a reverb esque component to them, and it can be hard to separate what's happening. And if you're sending the delay into a reverb, then that's going to also create like a lot more like space stuff happening. But it could help if you are able to strip down the other instruments and production elements a little bit more to give more room for those spatial, delay and reverb effects to breathe. Then things won't sound so, overcrowded as well. So, yeah, that's really my production stuff. And I think I would give it maybe a 70% between yellow and green. I think it's like, or actually, you know what? I would probably give it more like a 60 or something like that. Because the bass element is super important, and the way that it feels like overall, the balance of things, as well as that delay aspect, which is really distracting and happens through most of the song. Your audio is super quiet, Chris.
Thank you. I went to go blow my nose.
Yeah, sorry about
Yeah, I agree with everything that Josh said, as usual. Well, sometimes I disagree, but production, I think he nails it. So,
that. Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah. Just wanted to reiterate something before. I talked about the loudness thing, the 7 to 9 LUFS. That could be a source of some of what Josh is hearing, especially in the bass, like just it being super compressed. Um, and you know, for this kind of song, I don't think you need to really be worrying about um like hitting this consistent what is it, -14 that Spotify suggests or something. Like I feel like that's, or even like going over it a little bit and getting that distorted sound. Like that's like in hip hop and EDM right now where they're trying to, well, it's been like this for a while, but the loudness wars, right? Like you are kind of outside of that space. Like you don't need to be worried about like getting up past -14 to 7 to 9. Like that's so loud. Like it's detrimental to your
It
sound
doesn't
because
help. It doesn't help you at all because again,
no
there's
way.
limits on the streaming platforms. They will literally make your track sound worse if
Yeah.
it's too loud. Yeah, it's not about that.
What you need is for people to hear like every single thing. It's like a difference between a condenser or a dynamic, right? Like if I'm a rock singer and I'm screaming into the mic, it's like, and it's a live setting and I don't want to pick up everything that's around me, and and I'm loud, it's like, okay, dynamic mic, that's what you need, just like a thing to pick up the signal roughly. And it's like your voice is different and your song is different. Like I want this lush, chilled out, like your profile picture here, like chilling in the sky. I want to take in everything. I want some space, you know.
Yeah.
Um, it's that condenser. That's what you need, and you need dynamics for that, and you don't need to push up your mix so damn loud.
Yeah, it's just
um,
all of those things that we talked about, it just feels like you're burying the actual, like, content, like, your song and
yes.
your voice are being, like, buried by some overbearing production decisions, which it doesn't
Mm,
need to be that way, you know?
no way. More subtle than anything, please. But yeah. So for that, like, I think production is the biggest opportunity for you to work on. It'll bring everything up, I think. So
And by the way, don't blame Mr. McGiacchino. It's like it's a lot of good stuff that's happening in production, and if you show this to him, I'm sure that he'll get it. It sounds like he's been on our stream before for feedback, and it sounds like
yeah,
you do some of that too.
yeah,
But Mr.
yeah. Who mixed it?
McGiacchino, well, yeah, that's a good question also.
Yeah,
What element of production?
yeah. These are all going to the mixer right now. So I don't know if it's you or him, but if it is him, like tell him. But yeah, him or
Yeah.
her. Well, it's Mister. Anyways, um, my score for production, I think it's the one that needs most work. So it's 25 between
Okay.
green and yellow. I think. Overall, that puts me at I think 60 to 65 between green and yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. I could echo that. It's like, yeah, the song underneath so
Zog, what's
good.
up?
But hey, yeah,
What's
welcome
up,
back,
Zog?
Zog. Zog,
Um,
we have time for one more, and if
we do.
you have one and you tip, oh, we actually do have one from you like
Zog, yeah.
last time. That is, we've still got a bunch ahead.
Yeah.
But if you want to get reviewed today, we've got the tip link as usual, $5 minimum. But
Yeah.
anyways, before we get to that, yeah, same score for me. Really cool track. Just a couple of things on the presentation to really make it shine, make the song shine. But yeah, good work.
Yes. I'm trying to find. Sorry, I had to open the queue again just to see where we're at. So, Balenci Baby, we were not doing. I think music. No, we just did a tip. Yeah, I'm here. So, we have music by Div, Jokerhead, KVS, Seba, Balenci Baby, Quarky, Zaug. You're right there. So, obviously, we wouldn't
So
get to
you're
you
like
today.
seven, six or
Yeah.
seven. So
Zeno, Meadle, and then Prod by Dante. So, Zog, if you need the feedback now, feel free to hit us with that tip. We do love seeing you in the stream, friend of the stream. We appreciate you, but we have everybody in front of you that we need to review still. So if you need your feedback right away, just hit us with the tip. If not, this is what it is. So you're not too late, but
yeah,
maybe
let
you're early. I don't
let,
know.
let us know in the chat if you do plan on doing that, and we
Yeah,
will wait for you to do the Streamlabs PayPal thing. But
yeah,
otherwise, we will go to the last one, which would be music by Div. So
yes.
if we don't hear anything in the chat in the next few seconds, we'll go to to music by Div.
5, 4. A lot of crickets. 3, 2, 2, 1. All right.
We appreciate the purple heart, but I
Yeah.
don't see the dono.
We do appreciate the Purple Heart. Like, we love it. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll go to music by Div.
All right.
God, he's got me open Spotify right now. We're trying to.
It's
Oh
funny.
shit.
They've all been on SoundCloud recently.
Yeah, yeah. Hey man, if he's trying to get his streams up, I guess he's got 12K streams by the way, 13K.
Whew.
Good stuff. That's a
Crazy.
decent number, brother. All right, so let's see. I need a minute. It's finished release. Melodic hip hop inspirations are Drake, Nav, and Travis Scott. Oh man, the trifecta. Uh, I don't like
Chris's
it.
favorite artists.
Oh no. I just haven't really give them I guess a fair shake, but just from what I've heard, I'm just like,
Not impressed.
yeah, not not at all. But okay, they're really popular. So, all right. But anyways, did they have a description? Let me see. I don't know if I saw it. Melodic hip hop. Oh no, I just read it. All right. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's see. I just want to make sure that we didn't miss anything in the chat.
Nope, we're good.
All right, cool. All right, so what's this guy's name? I need a minute. Music by Div. 3, 2, 1. It sounds like a Drake beat.
Automatic 0 from Chris.
No, no, no.
Oh, this vocal is gonna be loud.
Yeah, I'm outside, south
It is loud.
side,
It's
25,
Drake.
No,
G5.
this is like
I'm
Nav.
outside, what's the time?
Oh, there's lyrics.
Yeah, I need a minute to think. I need a minute to think. Shorter and all these problems, man, I'm being pushed to the brink. Yeah, I need a minute to think. I need a minute to think. Back in the studio, wondering if I'ma swim or sing. And I know you're far away, and the money's hard to make. All they try
I
to
do
do
see
is
the
take.
influences.
It ain't always been this way. Yeah, her daddy was hitting the phone. She ducked all the tones and acted all innocent. Back when we was alone, she sipped in the zone. Oh, good girl, I know you did. Shorty was showing red flags from over a mile away. But I felt some type of way.
Timing.
2 times on a rainy night, she had cute eyes and some thick thighs. She drove one of those red Altimas, tires stripped and them speakers blown. Long nails, pretty face, trust issues, the type to dig through your phone. Her daddy was hitting the phone, she ducked all the tones and acted all innocent. Back when we was alone, she slipped in the zone. Oh, good girl, I know you did. Yeah, I need a minute to think. I need a minute to think. Shorter and all these problems, man, I'm being pushed to the brink. Yeah, I need a minute to think. I need a minute to think. Back in the studio, wondering if I'ma swim or sing. I'm outside, south side,
Those horns are caked in reverb.
G5. I'm outside. What's the time? Yeah. Outside, south side, 25, G5. I'm outside. I need a minute to think. South side, I need a minute to think. Outside, I need a minute to think. South side, I need a minute to think. I'm outside, I need a minute to think.
All right, music by Div. I need a minute.
You think it should
God
have
damn it.
been like 4 to 8 BPM faster?
Maybe
It
it was
was a
kind of.
little bit like I felt often in the delivery, like there were lines where the rhythm was quite awkward,
Yep.
potentially because of the way that some of them were written, right? The number of
Yep.
syllables and the like the way you're trying to get the syllables out and whatnot. But
Yes.
also it was, I think, a little bit slow, like the tempo of the song, which can make it like really fucking hard to actually deliver those in proper rhythm or whatever in a
Hmm.
non-awkward way.
Hmm.
And I just felt like overall your delivery was, it did sound pretty professional, I would say, but
Hmm.
a little bit reserved, or
Hmm.
like at some points it just sounded like I wasn't hearing enough like fire from your voice, enough
Yep.
like character or passion. It was sort of like a little bit monotone, where like I don't think it's because you're monotone. I just think it's because you're trying to not fuck up the delivery. You're trying to
Hmm.
be too careful with like your performance, right? It's a little bit stiff.
Hmm.
So just like really focusing on making sure you sound like a living human, like a living, breathing human, and that you're locked into the beat and that you're feeling it and that you've got good rhythm is important. Chris, why are you laughing?
I just want to take a clip of you saying that and then like putting it next to like a Nav song or something because I feel like that's how people like.
Really?
Yeah, like if you listen
Good.
to anything by Nav, like people are just like or Gunna. Like I feel like
Yeah,
Nav
I
or
don't know.
Gunna, like all that feedback could be applied to them too.
Okay,
Uh,
interesting. Well,
because
what are
they're
your first impressions? Sorry, go on.
I see his three influences so hard. Maybe
Yeah.
especially Drake and Nav.
Hmm.
Um, Travis Scott. I guess I could see it too, but yeah, it's just like it's solid. I feel like I'm hearing. I don't know if it's proximity effect or
Hmm.
um,
It's
just
both and mix.
yeah, and mix. Just a little bit of on the amateurish side of the vocal mixing. And honestly, I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of how I mixed my first mixtape
Yeah.
because I could hear all that too now. Like listening back to it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sun you or anything like that because I listen to my songs on it and I'm like, shit, it's there. So it happens to all of us. But I think you do have. an ear, a good ear for it. I think the beat fits your style really well. I think it's a Drake type beat. I feel like if I looked it up on YouTube, I could possibly find it. Um, but yeah, I think overall it's pretty solid. You did your thing. You told the story about some problematic woman with some perhaps father issues. Um, it's kind of a theme that I've heard before, but I didn't feel too like we heard like a Yeet clone earlier, and I was just like so drained by listening to that. But
Mm,
this one, I heard enough of you to be like, okay, you know,
yeah, yeah,
I do definitely know where your influences are. See, there's a difference, right? There's a difference, but
yeah.
um, I do think in general, and Josh talked about this a little bit too. There are some parts, a lot of the parts you're pretty solid on, and there's some parts where I could hear you kind of tripping over yourself a little bit. I think the number of syllables seem to be like somewhat doable and like musically like cookie cutter. Like, oh, if it's a triplet, it's going to be like 3, 6, or 9. Like, I think you've written like those syllables fine. It's just the actual words are probably actually hard to say in that way.
Yeah, it could
Like
be.
I think you say like all good baby or something like
Mhm,
and it's like just like a weird thing to say in a triplet. So at that point, it'd be like, oh, consider maybe a rewrite or maybe even just enunciating it differently.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, overall, I think it's pretty solid. Uh, this is Drake Nav vibes for sure. Uh, Drake Nav vibes at home, but dare I say it in a decent way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think this left me uh, have better impressions than the other guy there. So, but yeah, music by Div though. That's an interesting artist name.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd use the word music in it, but
True, true.
it's what it is. But yeah, overall vibes. I guess that kind of plays into vibes too. It just gives me like a kind of amateurish vibe. That's all.
Mhm.
Um, but an amateur that has a good ear and that has some potential. So, um, what is your score at?
I didn't give one.
I'm at like, yeah, I'm at like 60 between green and yellow.
Yeah, I think I would give it maybe even 70. I think
Yeah.
it's like I don't know, the general
It's catchy.
impression.
I need a minute to
Yeah,
think.
it definitely is catchy. I don't know if it's, again, like, the most original thing, but I do feel like I get some artistry or some voice that feels like it's you. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm hearing an artist, and that's actually, like, less common than you would think. It's pretty easy to make music that just sounds kind of like it's a person but not an artist, right? And I do feel like you have a certain like vibe or energy that comes through that again is very calm, and maybe it's a little bit too reserved, but it feels like you are like confident in what you're doing, and you're not being like overly like hyper about the decisions or delivery. Like you're very laid back and chill, and that's refreshing to listen to. So I liked, that aspect of it. But yeah, content.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of just I liked hearing the story and reading about the story. Um, maybe it was a little kind of played out, but um, I enjoyed listening to it. I think delivery was good. I think you have an ear for hooks, and I need a minute to think. Like that's very catchy.
Mhm.
Was it Southside G5? Like,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
it's catchy. It's simple. Um, the lyrics are very simple. I smiled. I was like, "This totally nav."
Hmm.
It's kind of where you're from, and then maybe flexing G5, and then yeah, some mental strife. I need a minute to think. Some Drake. It's just yeah, it's solid, simple. Maybe that's what I would say for content: solid but simple. And then just you just trip up on a couple things here and there, and when you record something, um, the time to trip up is in the studio, at a take that you don't take eventually. Like you
Well,
gotta,
yeah, and having either you having the ear to know I shouldn't
yeah,
use that take, or having a good producer that does, because it can be difficult
or
as
good friends.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be difficult as yourself to say that take isn't good enough because you don't perceive yourself the way other people do. But
Mhm.
a good producer can tell you that shouldn't end up on the record, or that's awesome, and also be able to coax the good stuff out of you. Like if you had a
Yeah.
really good producer that was in the studio helping you record this, they would like figure out, they would identify like I did or something that you could bring the energy up a little bit, you know, like you don't have to be so reserved and help you feel that way, like just make you feel more comfortable there, you know, or like have you like joking around or whatever it takes to, and you can sort of have that mentality yourself, right? Loosen up a little bit when you're recording. But it does sound to me like a good start for an artist. Like I sort of get the impression that you have a lot of potential, but you're
Mhm.
sort of in the early stages of your artistry and your musical, you know, story, which
Mhm.
is cool to hear.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're putting it out there on Spotify, trying to get paid,
Yeah.
um, get exposure because Spotify's algorithms are fantastic for finding new music, in
Mhm.
my experience.
Mhm.
And looks like it's somewhat working. Like you have a decent amount of streams on this, so
Mhm.
I, continue to wish best luck to you. It's cool. What are we on content?
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
think you
like
said, yeah, what's your score?
I think it's around my same score of vibes is like 60, maybe 70.
Yeah. Yeah. I would maybe flip-flop with you there. I would say maybe 60 for content just because I feel like it's a little bit bare bones or something. Like I
Yeah,
feel like there's a basic structure that again like doesn't feel super original. And it's not
yeah,
that the content isn't good. I just feel like I'm left wanting more. It feels very simple.
for sure. It
Si
is.
Yeah, simple but not unique, which is like kind of can be a problem, right?
Oh yeah, for
There's a
sure.
little bit of your energy coming through, but we need more like emphasis on bringing that out.
Mhm.
Then
Oh,
for
I just thought about it. He's also doing the Drake. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But he sounds like himself, not like Drake, so
Yeah,
that's good.
definitely, definitely. Okay, so then production, let me think. I mean, oh, vocals, yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah.
There may be a little bit too much
That's probably the
proximity effect.
main one too,
Yeah,
because if I were to guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, Music by Div, this is a type beat and you as a rapper read on it and then produce your vocals together. So this is all the production that you do. So listen up.
right, right. Um, yeah, maybe some proximity effect. I think the majority of the issue is with the mixing, right? Like the volume of your vocal is just way above the uh volume of sorry, I was hearing myself through your headphones or something
Oh
into the
shit,
mic.
my bad.
You're good. Um, yeah, there's definitely an issue with the volume balance between your vocals and the rest of the track. So a lot of it is in that like low register, which the tone I think sounds okay. There's maybe a little bit of saturation happening at some points when you're starting to clip a little bit. Again, backing up from the mic a little bit can help with that. Not turning the gain up so high, just being conscious of sort of recording and mixing best practices. And then like definitely making sure your volume is leveled, right? That's step one of mixing 101. But also like the dynamics might be a little bit too much on the vocal. Like you might want to make sure that you've got some evening out with compression or whatever, just so that the low end doesn't jump out too much, and or just EQ that down a little bit. You want it to fit into the track rather than focusing on just the vocal tone on its own. It has to be a unit with the actual track itself. So that's the main thing. It's partially recording related, partially mixing related. Just got to make that balance out a little bit better. But other than that, I didn't really have a lot else that I wanted to comment on with production. I think it sounds pretty okay. It's pretty simple, but main thing is your vocal balance and how it integrates with the track. Oh, and those horns in the background, I felt like the elements sounded a little bit disjointed from each other. It sounded like the vocal is one thing that was recorded here, and then the other elements, you know, the drums, or whatever, are like one sample pack, and then the horns are like a totally separate thing, and they were like in their own separate reverb that was a little bit too much, I think. They were a little bit too wet, too shiny. So just like making the track feel more integrated, like maybe using some mix bus processing on the master track, right? Making sure that there's some glue between things, like some really light compression, or there's different like, you know, tape simulators that can really glue your stuff together a little bit more. Or like a light EQ that again brings things under the same umbrella, makes them sound like they're part of the same track rather than three separate things happening at the same time.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think my score for production would probably be um, like a 75% between yellow and green. I think it's pretty good sounding, but just level your vocals better.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing that too. Yeah, I think the most things that I heard is and it's probably the thing I focus on because if I'm guessing this right, I do the same that you do. It's just get type beats and then do vocals over them and try to mix them in. So yeah, I think the vocals they're a little bit louder than the rest of the mix than the beat. If you could fit them in somehow, uh, need some dynamic compression, maybe dynamic EQ. Uh, but that's like a later step. The first step is just to make the vocal themselves sounds good, and that goes at recording. So not getting too close to the mic. I I'm not sure if this is mostly mixing of it or if it's recording. I think Josh, you said it was mixing, but I hate to be this guy, but it sounds like maybe they could invest in a better mic. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Um,
I'm hesitant to jump on that because
right.
it easily could be just that you are too close to the mic and
Yes.
you're just using the wrong processing on it, and it might be
Mhm.
clipping a little bit either through your interface or through the plugins,
Yes.
and you might just not have mixed out or mixed it into the song well enough. So I don't know if I necessarily heard a clear microphone issue.
Hmm.
Like I would say what you have sounds like it's very workable to create
Yes.
something that's good. I I would probably focus more on learning the skills rather than buying new gear at this point.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Um, yeah. So that's just kind of what I heard. I don't think I have much to add based on what Josh said. I'm pretty much at the same spot. 75 between green and yellow. Overall, 70 between green and yellow. It's decent.
Dope. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I could rate it around that too. And I mostly say that because I feel like you have potential as an artist, and can hear some of that coming through. It's just like now you get to start your journey of again making sure you really know your own sound and what you want to say and all that. And it can be, derivative or that sounds like a dirty word, but like it can be influenced, right, by things
Yeah.
that people are aware of. There's not a problem with that, but make sure you have enough that is new and unique that's your own in there to sort of like add, a wild card to it that makes people think you're your own artist and is interesting, and be more comfortable with your delivery and being in your own skin, and make sure that you don't sound awkward either because you're a little bit stiff or because you've written things in a way that's just genuinely hard to pronounce.
Hmm.
Being paying attention to your this way you're recording and mixing, and you could potentially have some formula here that could really work.
Hmm. Yep. Keep it going, Music by Div. It's cool. It's cool to
Yep.
see. And I think that's the last song, guys. So
That is, we are
7:43.
overtime
Peace.
gladly, and thanks to everyone for submitting their tracks today. Love hearing it. Pretty wide variety of stuff, which is awesome. And as always, it's just cool having people come back on the stream and hearing how
Yeah.
you've improved. So, for anybody who submitted today and we gave you feedback, hope to hear from you again soon.
Hmm.
We are here just about every Friday, so come back 5:30 to 7:30 Central Time. Convert to your own time zone,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's that's pretty much it. Follow us on Instagram, which is all the way in the top right corner of the overlay. That's kind of our home base. We have top tier tracks; they go there, and little useful bits of information that we share on the stream, as well as other updates, which there will be some exciting stuff pretty soon.
Yep.
If you go to our link tree on our Instagram, you can join our Discord. That's been slowly amassing some people lately. So get in there and start a conversation, and follow us on Twitch so you find out when we go live and all of that. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to say, Chris?
Dude, I didn't really get to BC some RB today, but it's okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
True.
maybe next week.
Yeah.
I need that energy high right now. And the
Yes.
the screen share just died. All right.
It's all
Take
good.
us away. Take us away, Josh.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. We will see you next week. Follow us and find us, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. Keep making music, y'all. Appreciate you.
Keep doing it. Peace.
Bye-bye.